What was your "I don't get paid enough for this" moment at work? We used to be paid half salary to attend seminars related to our industry that grant professional development hours. These seminars would often be at 7 a.m. at a hotel that was about a 2-hour drive for me, if I was lucky, in rush hour traffic to get to. But hey, it was paid and had free breakfast, so waking up at 4:30 to attend wasn't the worst thing in the world. The company announced that they believed attending the seminars was furthering our knowledge, therefore helping the company, and therefore helping us, so we would no longer be paid to attend them but were still expected to go. I just said fuck that and haven't attended a single one since then and delete all the invite emails. I'm paid hourly, so taking the 6 hours out of my day to drive and attend a seminar I am not being paid for is just plain stupid. I was asked why I haven't gone to any and told them I have a mortgage to pay. Haven't been asked to go again since. My boss insisted that everybody be at their desks at 8:30 sharp. She made me take roll on an attendance sheet and hand it in to her every day. She also made me do it at lunchtime, when everybody left and came back, and when they left at night. Took roll for a bunch of adults 3 times a day. I don't work there anymore. Oh man, I'm actually relieved, because I had to do this same shot to my subordinates, and honestly I made up numbers 99% of the time because they worked their full hours and could prove it, and their performance was the best in the office because they weren't being crushed by an asshole dictator. I left after I was told to follow my subordinates to the bathroom to time their breaks in there, and one of my team was a pregnant woman. When I objected, I was told by the highest management that I was immature, not a team player, and I had to do exactly everything I was told, no questions asked. No exaggeration, those are direct quotes. I made sure my folks were covered and handed in my resignation. After I left, my friends that told me that a bunch of other people walked too. It was a great place to work for my first 2 years, but the manager had never held that position, was stubborn, and hated millennials, and so went out of her way to be horrible to her own staff. No rageouts, yo. Worked at a fast food place about 13 years ago. This lady in the drive-thru claimed she was missing a sandwich. Our policy was to ask for the bags back to verify. I asked to see the bags, 3 or 4, decent-sized order, and instead of handing them back like a civilized human being, she instantly started raging and throwing the food into the window while cussing me out. Guess what one of the items that she threw at me was? Yep, said missing sandwich. I had an emergency, last-minute 20,000-word translation that needed to be done in under 24 hours. The usual output for a translator is 2,000 words per day, including proofreading and editing. I don't know how, but I managed to bash it out. Not my best quality translation ever, but I got it done. Edit, I'd like to point out that I did get many thanks from my actual boss. I also just remembered I did get a thank you email. I worked in SROs in the middle of the roughest part of my city. I frequently have to identify drug dealers, report them, get them banned, and then enforce the ban. I get threatened by them a lot, usually just with fists or knives. I don't mind that so much. If they come at me with a knife, then the cops actually bust them and then they're out of my hair for good. Well, one guy just kind of laughed at me and said I'd regret it if I kept getting in his way. Which people say, though usually more aggressively, and I don't put much stock into it. Then he gave me his name and just told me to Google him. Turns out he's the son of one of the more violent crime families in the area. They're connected to like 40 targeted killings, and a lot of them are guys like me getting gunned down in parking lots. At that point I backed the fuck off. $20 an hour is not enough to fight the fucking mob. Edit. Because apparently people don't know what an SRO is and are angry about it, single room occupancy. An old man rushed inside our store, literally running to the bathroom, but still managed to shit himself and all over the floor before he could make it. Right in the most open, spacious part of the store. Edit. Wow. This is my most popular response ever. I don't know if I'm excited or disappointed. To add further detail, this was at a combination Circle Subway store. I worked the Subway side. So it was one of the Circle employees that actually cleaned it. And what I meant about it being out in the open was that we're the busiest store in our district, so even with a pile of shitties on the ground, we've got people still trying to come in and out, and it's very visible, and it took a little while for my friend on the Circle side to actually get the cleaning supplies together. So a good chunk of people came in, saw the shit, shrugged it off and still got their pack of cigarettes, or saw the shit, did a double take and just went right back out the door. And we're in a big retirement area, so this kind of thing actually happens often, though most times, it's mainly something that happens in the bathroom itself. When I was in high school at a retail job, we had a customer shot explosion in the bathroom. My assistant manager asked me to go clean it and I looked at him and said, "Sorry dude, I am not doing that." He threatened to fire me and I just said that I'd quit before I had the chance and tell the GM exactly why. He huffed and puffed and went to go clean it. I know an AM at a retail store isn't exactly making the big bucks. But if you expect a 17-year-old making $7 per hour to go clean someone's shit off the walls in the bathroom, go duck yourself. I can go make $7 per hour at about 30 places in town, your store isn't special. I walked into the bathroom, and someone had smeared poop on literally every single surface, wall, everything except one small part of the ceiling they couldn't reach. So almost made me quit, but luckily my boss told me to lock it, not let anyone else use it, and he got someone to come with a pressure washer. The time I went to sleep under my desk at work at 5 AM because I needed to be back at my desk for an 8 AM call. I had promised myself a long time ago that I would never sleep under my desk. I would go home, or just work straight through, but I wouldn't do that. I only lived a 12-minute walk home, but that night I realized that getting those extra 24 minutes of sleep were worth not going home. I was so sad about it. I am a corporate lawyer. We had been working, literally, around the clock for days on a deal that was going sideways. This was a Wednesday, a Thursday morning, but I had been there until 3 AM Sunday night, 5 AM Monday night, 6 AM Tuesday night, and had been back in the office by 9 AM every day. That's when I knew I needed to quit, but I'm still here a year and change later, oops. I'm a carer, and work for minimum wage. I rolled a bed-bound lady with dementia to clean her up after she'd soiled her pad. She then proceeded to fart in my face, and exclaimed, "I'd been holding that one in for you," while laughing in the most dirty, evil laugh you'd ever hear. That lady had also thrown fish at me, spanked me on the bottom with a back scratcher saying, "Oh, you like that, you dirty cow?" Thrown a TV remote at my head, and thrown various soiled objects at me. Despite all this, she can be funny as hell. Also can be a really nice lady, just depends what mood she's in that day. Dementia can do weird things. But a mouthful of granny fart is one thing I'll never forget. Edit. Oh my goodness. I'm new to Reddit, so this overwhelming response has blown me off my feet. The love and appreciation in some of these comments mean so much to me. Thank you so much guys. XX.